By the way, I did just now dye my hair pink. I promise it is totally temporary. And I might hate it in like 5 minutes and wash it out. I just wanted to have a video where my hair is pink. But I kind of want to wash it out because it's like getting everywhere and like it feels disgusting. So we shall see. I have dye all over me. It's so annoying.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
Hey guys! That was the longest intro ever. Anyway, so today is going to be an interesting video. Today I'm going to be reviewing movies that I have watched during quarantine. So basically, a little backstory, like almost every night my friends and I, what we like to do is we all FaceTime each other, we go on Netflix, we pick a movie, we all start at the same time. Sometimes we do Netflix party, but it gets like really annoying with the link, so we've just like been counting down and stuff. So I have a list of like the movies I wanted to talk about. So it's going to be pretty fun and I'm excited. So I have 3 categories. It is the good, the bad, and the downright weird. So let's get to it. So first we're going to start off with the good. So first on this list is My Life as a Zucchini. So this movie I had my eye on for a while. I was pretty freaking excited when I found out it came to Netflix. It tells the story of a little boy named Zucchini whose mother is abusive and she dies and he lives in a group home. So it's basically telling his experiences through that. And it's very heartbreaking, very beautiful. I may or may not have cried a little bit. My friends and I all enjoyed it. We did have a couple good laughs during it because, you know, little kids, they're always saying funny things in movies. So it was a really good one. I really enjoyed it. It's also claymation, so the animation was kind of weird. But you know, it's very different. I think I liked it better as a claymation. Next up is The Florida Project. So this easily made my top 5 favorite movies after watching it. And this one is, it's very raw. The acting is like superb. Oh my gosh, like it's so weird because I'm like, oh, these are like little kids and they're like really amazing actors. Like what? But everyone is just so good in this. It's just so like visually pleasing as well, and that's what I love from movies. Like I'm not gonna not watch a movie because it's not like visually like pretty, like if like the colors aren't right, like, you know what I mean? So it's really aesthetically pleasing. And what I really liked about this too is that it told the story through the eyes of Mooney, who's the main little girl. So it kind of had like this like childlike air about it, and it was really, I loved it. I also cried in this one. Next up is Marriage Story. So as much as I make fun of this one for that one scene,
people used to tell me that you were too selfish to be a great artist. I used to defend you, but they're absolutely right. All your best acting is behind you. You're back to being a hack. You gaslighted me. You're a villain. You want to present yourself as a victim because it's a good legal strategy? Fine. But you both know that you chose this life. You wanted it until you didn't.
I actually kind of enjoyed this one. It's basically about people going through divorce. Not much to say about it. I'd say the whole movie is basically just Adam Driver getting screwed over the entire time. I may or may not have taken a nap during this one, but I rewatched it and I really enjoyed it. It's pretty heartbreaking, pretty good. I loved it. There's also a little bit of company in there, so that's what I liked about it most off. And I thought I would actually hate it, and there are like some parts I'm like, ugh, about, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good one. Next one is Call Me By Your Name.
Okay. So I know this movie has been getting a little bit of controversy about its representation of queer folk in the media. Queer folk? What? Why did I just say that? Anyways, so I'm totally aware of that, and I know that this movie is not the best representation of LGBT people in the media. I know that there's a lot better out there. This was just one I heard about from like the internet and wanted to try out, and I enjoyed it. However, I do recognize how the representation could have been like there's better representation, and how the age gap is still bad, and it still perpetuates a pretty bad, you know, stereotype of totally not okay with that perception that it puts out. I am really upset that it puts out that, you know, idea, but I did like the movie. I don't know. I don't want to address the age gap because, like, I don't really know how I feel about that because I didn't like it. But I know that Elio and Oliver were not meant to be together because of the age gap. So
I know this one has been trending on TikTok a lot, so my friend Daniel and I decided to watch this one, and we found it on like some illegal website, so we could watch it for free.
To see without my eyes. The first time that
The visuals were really pretty, the wardrobe, I really appreciate the wardrobe for some reason, don't ask me why. I love like 80s fashion. But I thought it was just like, it was a lot to think about, a lot to process. I feel like I could go on about this. The ending was heartbreaking, but at the same time, it was best and it made the most sense. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've seen it, the ending made the most sense. That is a conversation for another day. I know a lot of people have their thoughts about the ending, especially like when things like that happen. Experienced it with La La Land, but I hated the ending, but then I'm like, okay, like, let's think about this. It makes a lot more sense for this to happen. For everyone, it's better, but it was also really, like, sad. I wasn't sad about them, like, not getting together. I was just sad that Elio loved Oliver more than Oliver loved Elio. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I really enjoyed it. It was written really pretty. Although, like, there were some parts where I was, like, really, like, confused. If you know, you know. And finally, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. This was one of those Disney Plus watches. I just kind of watched it for the aesthetic of it, because the aesthetic was really what I appreciated. I loved that early 2000s fashion recently. Like, it has Lindsay Lohan, Kristen Bell, and Megan Fox. Like, what a cast. What a cast.
So I was actually recently informed that Kristen Bell is actually not in this movie, so yeah, so sorry for messing that up, y'all, but it was Allison Pill, not Kristen Bell. Whoops.
It's a really fun storyline. I thought it was really cute. I really appreciated how it was like the just right amount of dramatic, because it's Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, but it was also like had that Disney Channel style. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I mostly watched it for the fashion, and I love the fashion, and I love the storyline, and I related to the main character a little bit. Alright, now we're going to go to the bad. The first one on the bad list is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Unfortunately, this movie was taken off of Netflix a couple days ago, but we watched it, like, just for no reason, because we were like, oh, I'm in the mood for, like, something really bad, so we watched that, and that was the movie to watch. Like, I just want to know who invested their money into this. So basically, it tells a story of these two guys, Harold and Kumar. They're smoking the devil's lettuce, so they're like, you know what, let's go to White Castle. But of course, it's a movie. They can't just go to White Castle and be satisfied with their slider. They have to go on an adventure. So it's this like whole adventure that takes way too many twists and turns. And then like one of them, I forget which one, likes a girl or something. I don't know, it's weird. Like, it's all over the place, and Neil Patrick Harris is in it. I don't know how he got into it. Same with Ryan Reynolds. I don't know how they got them in this project. I mean, as I was doing like research for this video, because I forgot the name of this movie, I just remembered it was the White Castle movie. I guess like Harold and Kumar was like a whole series in the 90s. So, I mean, I'll look it up. I'll do like a little like insert. Right, next we have Gerald's Game. We watched this movie on my birthday, after Tall Girl, after Marriage Story. It had to be like 1 in the morning or something. So I also took a nap during this one, but not because I was tired, but literally because I knew the story of it, and it just made me so uncomfortable that I could not watch it. Like, I was like, I can't, like, just like the idea of being like handcuffed to a bed for multiple days while some dog is running around eating your husband, and like you can't get out, that freaks me out. Like, that makes me so uncomfortable. I had it like on pause, like when I knew it was like about to get violent, and I guess it like got like really graphic and gross, and like I guess it's like, I don't really know what happened in this movie, but I like rewatched it and like skipped through some parts, and it was not a good time. So I was not, I mean, I don't think it was like necessarily a bad movie. I just didn't vibe with it, you know? Next is Tall Girl.
You think your life is hard? I'm a high school junior wearing size 13 Nikes. Men's size 13 Nikes.
I think we've all discussed this movie. I think we've all seen the videos. I think we've all seen the breakdowns of it. I mean, watching it with friends is definitely more fun. That's another thing too. Like, these movies aren't even that, like, even if they're the worst movie ever, like, if you watch them with friends, it's still gonna be good. Like, we literally laughed at Tall Girl all night. We were like,
oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I was actually kind of looking forward to Tall Girl. I feel like it could have been so much better, but it just wasn't. They could have done good things with it, but they made other choices. The last movie on the list of the bad is After. I went to my dad's last night for like the first time in like 2 months, okay? So I'm at my dad's and she texts me and she's like,
hey, I'm like gonna have like a movie night. Have you seen After?
And I said,
Mom, that is the worst movie I have seen.
I was literally writing like my little like ideas down for this movie. I forgot how much I hated After and I immediately added it. I'm sure you guys have like heard about it, but it's basically a movie that the trailer makes it look like 50 Shades of Grey, but it's actually kind of not. There's just like a lot of like scenes, but like not like as bad as other things that are out there scenes. Actually, it's based off of, I don't know if you guys know this, you probably do, but it's based off of a One Direction fanfiction that then, like, she changed the names of One Direction later because apparently it was like a legal issue because she was getting it like published, and then all their names are changed. I hated every single character. I literally hated every single one. The only two I didn't like was Tessa's roommate and Hardin's stepbrother, and even then I forget their names. They were the only two I liked. Everyone else I couldn't stand. Like, she had no personality. What, like, watching her and Hardin together was like watching two boxes like make out. If After was like a Disney Channel movie or something, or like if they were at least in high school, I'd be like, okay, like this is just another like bad high school movie.
I think Disney Channel movie is not the best way to word this, because of course it's After. But like what I meant is like if it was just like a regular high school movie, like, and not with all the crazy scenes, but like with the actual, like, you know, storyline and like the dare and whatnot, like, you know, like the actual like storyline part.
But they're in college!
Like, I mean, I know I'm only like 17 and I don't know what I'm doing, but like, I mean, shouldn't you, I don't know, be adults and not have like bets on who you're gonna like
Diddly diddly dee this week and diddly diddly dee the next week?
like, you're adults. Now we're gonna go to the downright weird. And like, this category, by the way, I'm not saying that these movies are bad, I'm just saying they're like weird and interesting. From like my film Twitter stan perspective or like my film buff perspective, I would say these movies are gorgeous. But then from the regular person side of me, I'm like, these movies are so weird. So the first one is The Lobster, but I am a secret film geek, so quirky. And I understood this one and I understood the idea of it and I really enjoyed the concept of it, but the execution was very interesting. And the concept was kind of heartbreaking, but it got to the point in like an odd way. So The Lobster is basically a dystopian movie. I've been trying to avoid those, but you know. It's like 45 days, you're single for 45 days and then you become an animal. Like, it's hard to explain. I don't really know the logistics of it, but that's what happens. So, you know, this guy who actually, he's the dad from Saving Mr. Banks and Dumbo, which I did not realize it was him. Like, he looks like Teddy Roosevelt in this movie and then looks different in these other movies. But he's like vibing. He's going to this hotel to try to find his like mate or whatever. And and his brother got turned into a dog, so he brings his brother, and like he finds his buddies, you know, and they're like trying to find their mates. And he like joins like this like loner cult, but then he meets this girl. I don't know, it's weird. Next on the list, we have Her. I have a lot to say about this one. So from my film geek perspective, like I said, I really like this movie. I feel like it's a very interesting look at technology and communication and human connection, and kind of like like similar concepts to Lobster, but not really. There's some scenes that like made me uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie, but like I was just like, oh, he's in love with Siri. That's so weird. Which like, I guess that's kind of the point of it, to like, I don't know. I just thought it was weird, but at the same time, like, it was really like well done. I don't know, that's so weird, cause like, and then finally we have Blame. This movie, first off, like, my only problem with this movie was that I couldn't tell like who I was rooting for, but I thought it was so good. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was very interesting, and the girl who directed it also starred in it, which was cool. And there's such a big plot twist, and like, it threw me for a loop. I loved it though. I thought it was good. It was different. It was very different from any like teen movie I'd ever seen. I think the only reason I labeled it weird was basically because of the plot twist at the end, because there's like a really huge plot twist that like throws you, and then you want to rewatch it so you can like get all like the signs. But the only other reason I have it as weird is because I didn't really know who to root for. But nonetheless, I really liked it. Anyways, those are my movie reviews. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week. Bye!